So hey guys, before we get started this week's episode, I wanted to bring up a little something I've been wanting to talk to you guys about. It has to do with the way YouTube works. Now, as you know, every time you hit that like button, it helps my videos grow. It helps the channel grow. It gets it out to more people. You know how at the end of the video you have all those options of things to click and you can really get sucked into that hole on YouTube. Well, the way those little videos show up on there is how many likes you get. So every time you hit that like button, you're really helping me out. You're really helping the channel out. So please, don't just spam the like button. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't hit the like button. But if you enjoy what you see here, and you like what I'm doing, smash that like button. It's a simple way of saying thank you, and it really helps the channel out. So yeah, enough of that. Woo. Let's get started. Hello again everybody, it's Captain Firefox and we are back in another episode of Building the Odyssey. Now if you couldn't tell from the intro there, we are in the Thunderchild today. Now this video is actually requested by a viewer, so appreciate that. And it's been a while since I've done any of the Building the Odyssey ships, spotlights if you will. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to get back into this and show off what we got here. Now, as you can tell, I'm not wearing my normal Captain stuff. I am dressed up as Captain Rogers right now, because it's fitting, because we're at the location of his doom. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen, was it Season 3, Episode 5 that just came out? Yeah. I die. So this jackass is finally gone. I can't stand this guy. I'm so glad he's dead. But enough about the Odyssey. We're here to see the ship. So, let's look at it. Now, this ship, actually, and everything that occurred around it, was suggested by YouTuber Emperor Doge? Doggy? D-O-G-E? I don't really know how to pronounce it, so sorry for butchering your name, but I really did like the suggestion, and it worked out really well. Now, I will admit, I was completely ignorant as to what the hell the Thunderchild was whenever he mentioned it. But, you know, Google's my friend, so I Googled it, and it is actually the ship from H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. I got it out that time, I'm happy. In the novel version, the Thunderchild was what they called a torpedo ship back in the day. Back before submarines were a thing, and torpedoes had just kind of hit the scene. The United States and Royal Navies had what they called torpedo ships, which were basically just ships designed to ram other things and at the end of that ram was a bomb. Now, the Thunderchild is a fictional ship. It doesn't actually exist. But in the story, it goes out and it fights off 3 of the Martian invaders, tripods, or whatever you want to call them, depending on which version of War of the Worlds you read, watched, or consumed in whatever form or fashion. And it went out there and fought those 3, rammed one, shot another, and the third is never mentioned what happens to it. But, incidentally, I had no idea that happened whenever I made this episode. The viewer did give me an idea what should happen with it in the series, and I kind of ran with it. Well, it turns out the Thunderchild in the War of the Worlds fights the 3 alien ships and is able to allow the civilians to evacuate, which is kind of funny because that's exactly what this guy did in the episode. He fought off Marduk's ships, 3 of them, ironically, completely incidental. I swear on whoever's grave you want me to swear on. And yeah, let the civilian transport get away. So completely incidental, but that's what it was in the story, and I got a giggle out of that whenever I Wikipedia'd that today. So enough about World of Worlds. Let's look at the ship. Now I'm going to put up on the screen the image that was sent to me by Emperor, and there it is. This is what I had to go off of to design this ship. Clearly, this looks nothing like that ship. The idea was a lot of armor, a lot of guns, turn-of-the-century battleship style. Clearly, this is not a turn-of-the-century battleship. But it does have a few elements from that. Now, the obvious one, smokestack. Because, you know, all spaceships need smokestacks. But it kind of makes the build. Like, if you look at just this section of the ship, totally looks like a battleship from the turn of the century. Zoom out, and it's got nacelles and everything else on it. Not so much. But that section back there looks like a battleship. I really like how that turned out. Now, these rails were actually one of the last things I put on here. And man, I think they make this build. I really do. They really pop, and it really gives it that actual battleship feel. The rest of it is the guns. Now, the guns are actually something I struggle with in every single build I do, because in most instances, the guns are just gaudy. They're humongous. They stick out. They're tall. They look weird. And I'm very happy I found this mod. I think this is the Commander Bob mod. Let me double check there because I'm not giving you guys bad information. Yeah, Commander Bob's weapons. You can see them here. These are really great. They're really low profile for the most part. There's a couple that stick up, but a lot of it are some small ships too, which is hard to find a lot of times. These damn torpedoes, whew, man, are those things overpowered. But anyways, love the low profile. It's not a real busy model, so it looks really sharp. You can put a lot of them on your build without it making it look like a porcupine with little things sticking up everywhere. Because if I had made this with the vanilla weapons, you know, what the rocket launcher top would be about up here, and I'd be shooting it with whatever's on the next level. So thank you, Commander Bob's mod, for making this ship possible. You can see I got a couple more cannons on the bottom here. You never really see these, but they're very useful to have down there because they do a lot of damage. So you can see you got a couple smaller ones up here. The idea was for these to be missile defense. They never seem to shoot missiles, so whatever. And I love these little turrets up here as well. These remind me of what we have on modern day battleships, cruisers, well, not battleships anymore, but cruisers, destroyers, aircraft carriers. They're missile defense systems. They basically shoot a wall of metal super duper fast up in the sky at the missiles, and the missiles will hit that instead of the ship. So nice touch there. I thought I really like these things, and they seem to be rather prominent in a lot of my builds lately. So we got to address the big gorilla in the room. These freaking engine cells are hideous. Like, I would never put this on another ship. Like, just I wouldn't do it. Not my best work. I built this whole ship in an hour, maybe two. I was really pressed for time, and this is what you get. I mean, what is this right here? It's hideous. And these pipes on it's pipes and tires, because those belong on engines. But from a distance, it looks fine. So we're just going to ignore that. And my eye just caught something. Yeah. So these are shaft shaved down and those aren't. And this has been in the series like that. Oh. You know, you guys really let me down. Usually you pick up on stuff like that. No one's mentioned that in any of the... Man. Okay, well, whoops. And, yeah, because, you know, we have helicopters in space, so we definitely need a helipad on the back of the ship. Oh, whatever. But up front here, we do have a rather useless hangar. It's here. Yeah, I might be able to fit one of the shuttles from Season 2 in here. That'd be about it. It's pretty worthless as a space. But it gives a nice little feature to the front. I'm sure there were plans to have something come out of the front there, but nothing did. Nothing did. This thing, because it's relatively small, these thrusters, there aren't a ton of them, but they get the job done. This thing moves really quick. Let me jump into spectator mode real quick and I'll show you why. There's quite a few gyroscopes in this thing. Like, get out of the middle of it, there we go. Like, a lot of gyroscopes. This thing is super nimble, even though it's made out of heavy armor. And as you can see, it's got plenty of power. Probably too much power. It gets really loud when you get close to it a lot of times. But, I want to see, do I have a gravity generator in this thing? Do it. Oh, there's a remote block. Nice. Yep, there it is. Gravity generator. Ah, it does have one. Yay. Okay, so it's not a completely useless ship. Whoa. Okay, let's see back in the body before I fly through anything else. So, oh god, the hideous cells. Ignore them. We'll come up here to the bridge next. Yeah, we're gonna walk back here like you're supposed to, damn it. There we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Looks just like a battleship. Pretty. Love these rails, man. These might be my favorite things in any mods that we use. It's great. Love it. Come up here to the really small bridge. Usually my bridges are pretty prominent in my builds. This one, not so much. But you've seen it from the series. It's the bridge. It's super undefended, but it gives a great view of everything. Now, the super undefended portion of this has led to quite a few problems when trying to film it. If you remember in last episode, there's that scene where I'm ramming Marty's cruisers. And there's a really cool shot of me sitting in this seat approaching him while they're shooting me. Really cool shot. Really wish I could have made it all the way with that shot. Unfortunately, got the bridge blown off pretty quickly in that engagement. And that wasn't the first time I got the bridge blown off. So finally I said screw it and just got the third person view from outside. So, yeah. Definitely a design flaw having the bridge this exposed. And as you saw in that fly-through a minute ago, there's really no room on the inside of the ship for anything else. Which brings me to my next point. When I built this ship, the idea was for it to be like a dreadnought. It was supposed to be like the main battleship of the Colonial Wars. That was the idea in my head when I built it, storyline-wise. Unfortunately, I had to make it smaller than the Centurion because I don't know how many times I've said throughout the series that the Centurion is the biggest ship ever made by mankind, blah, 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 blah. So it had to be smaller than that. So I made it smaller than that. I pasted in the Centurion, I was like, sweet, it's smaller than that, good job. Well, then I pasted in a Liberty. The freaking Liberty's bigger than this thing. So that was pretty disappointing, considering it was supposed to be, a big battleship, dreadnought, something like that. So in hindsight, I should have made this thing at least twice the size. Maybe 3 times the size. Yeah, and then instead of these little cannons here, I could have put some of the big battleship cannons on there, and it probably would have looked a lot better. I may end up doing that at some point in the future. If I ever do a survival series, I might rebuild this ship the way it's supposed to be done. But we're not there now. This is what we got, because again, time crunches, production time, schedules, blah, 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 blah. Had to get it out. So, that is the ship. I hope you guys liked it. I guess I'm done rambling for now. So, let me perch myself up here and get my nice little scenic view to say goodbye in. Such an ugly backpack on this thing. Ugh. Anyways, okay. Mars is pretty ugly too, so we're not going to get the most scenic view in the world. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please do hit that like button. If you really liked it, do hit subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys next time. This is Capt Firefox, and I'm out.